Hey guys, it's me again, and today, welcome to this video where I do my top best and worst movies of the year 2023. So as you know, 2023 is now coming to an end, and the doors are opening for 2024, which 2023 in my opinion was a wonderful year. There was loads of good and new movies that came out in 2023, as well as loads of new events to be happened in 2023, and including events like an event in school with talent show and everything, and I'm going into a new course and in school, and so many new movies to see, and going to my uncle in the summer and do my summer camp and my birthday and Christmas and Halloween, going to a party and everything, and going to a birthday party and 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 lots of new events in school and everything, and overall, yeah, it was just a wonderful year. There was lots of new events that I enjoyed this year. Yeah, and when there was lots of good movies that I saw in cinemas and watched online this year. Yeah, they were good movies. And 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 yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed 2023. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you guys are all looking forward to 2024. I am. There's lots of new events to look forward to in 2024. Like, I'm going to Dublin Comic Con at the end of January, so that's going to be exciting. First time going there. And um, um, and 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 I have lots of new events to look forward to, and lots of new movies um to look forward to. Like Kung Fu Panda 4, the Garfield movie, Bob Marley One Love, and Ghostbusters: The Frozen Empire, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and A Quiet Place Day One, etc. You can check out my video of the movies I'm excited for in 2024 that I uploaded today. Yep, and that'll show them all. Yeah. And also check out the movies I've seen in 2023 video that I also uploaded as well. Yeah, on my YouTube channel. And and check out other videos too. And yeah, so yeah. And yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's get into the list, shall we? And and yeah, but before I start the best and worst list. I'm going to give some honorable mentions for the best list. So the honorable mentions are Creed 3, Strays, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, Genie, Shazam Fury of the Gods, and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. They are good movies, but I just don't think they'd be in my best list. But I'll give them honorable mentions because they're good, fun, enjoyable movies, to say the least. Yep. So they're my honorable mentions. So now we're gonna get on to the best movies of 2023. Yep. So let's start. So coming in at number 11, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, this movie, in my opinion, was an absolutely fantastic movie. I adored this movie. I thought the storyline was very engaging. It had a very emotional beat to it, and it was very charming in areas too. Yeah, it was very emotional, especially with the character of Rocket Raccoon. He certainly did have a very interesting backstory and a very emotional weight to him in this movie. There's a lot of focus on him in this movie, which I thought was very interesting. It was the strongest aspect of the movie, the emotional with him. Yeah. And and then yeah, the action is fantastic, and the music in the movie is really catchy. I really really like it. Yep, and 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 yeah, I'm a big fan of the characters. I love Star Lord and 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 Drax and Groot and Rocket and and yeah, overall I just loved the characters. I thought they were great in this movie. And the villains were absolutely fantastic. Now, this movie is needed of a rewatch because surprisingly I've only seen it once. That was back when I saw it in cinemas back in May. So it is needed a rewatch because I can't really remember the villains that well. I remember them being decent, but it's needed a rewatch to get a better summarization of the villains. But all I can say now is that they're decent villains. Yep. But I need a rewatch to get good memorization of them. Yep. Yeah. And and yeah, this is definitely one of my all time favorite Marvel movies. And one of my all time favorite live action movies. I love this movie. And it's definitely the best Marvel movie I've seen this year. I have to say I like this way better than Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Yep. Yeah. And it was a brilliant end to the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. A brilliant conclusion, more like. I don't quite think it's as good as the first one, but it is still a really good movie. I really like it. Yep. So I'm happy to call Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 one of the best movies of 2023. So yeah. Okay, coming in at number 10, I have Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Oh my god, this movie was awesome. I thought this movie was absolutely brilliant. The action was absolutely fantastic. Well done to Tom Cruise in this movie. He did phenomenal. The stunts he did were just absolutely breathtaking. They were stunning. Yeah, it was very intense in a good way. A lot happens in this movie. There was always something going on to keep me occupied. When I saw this with my uncle, me and my uncle came out of it like we were mind blown. It was just such a great film. Like it has a very engaging story. Like it is brilliant. It is needed a rewatch, and I will definitely rewatch it with my mom because my mom likes Mission Impossible. But overall, I just love this movie. The more I think about it, it grows on me more. Like it's just such a great film. I love it. Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna watch it again. My mom, as my mom likes Mission Impossible, she'll enjoy it, and I can't wait to watch it again. I'll definitely enjoy it even more the more I see it. Yep, it is just a great film. Yep, Tom Cruise, you should be so proud of yourself. You did great in this movie at the stunts, and all the other acting was fantastic, and visually it looks stunning. And yeah. And I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2, which is coming out next year. Yeah, I'm very excited to see that movie next year. I hope it's good. Yep. Looking forward to seeing what they're going to do in it. Yep. But just overall, this movie is a masterpiece. Um, I still think Mission Impossible Fallout is my favorite of the Mission Impossible movies. Well, I've only seen three of them, but I still think that one's my favorite. But I don't think this one is quite as good as Fallout. But overall, it is just still a absolutely magnificent film. I really love it. So I'm happy to call Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 the best action movie of 2023. So yeah. Okay, now coming in at number 9, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Now, when I saw the trailers for this movie, it didn't really look that interesting to me, and I was never a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I never really watched it as a kid. I mean, I'd seen bits of the Nickelodeon TV show when I was a kid, but that was about it. I never really watched Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. Never grew up with it. Um, yeah, so that's why I wasn't intrigued to see this movie because I was never a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yep, yeah. But when the reviews came out, everyone was praising this movie. They were saying it was the best Ninja Turtles movie yet since the 2007 movie, which I'm not really a fan of. I know everyone loves it, but I'm just not a fan of it. Yep. They're saying it's really good. They were definitely praising the animation. They were saying it was very similar to Spider-Verse. Yep. So yeah, and the reviews kind of changed my mind. So yeah, I was kind of intrigued to see it. And then I saw it with my summer camp back in August, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by this movie. I actually really enjoyed it. Um, I thought it was a lot of fun. The storyline was so creative and a lot of fun, and the humor was absolutely hilarious. And Michelangelo was definitely my favorite of the turtles. He was just so funny in this movie. I loved him. Yep. And 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 Leonardo, Raphael, and Donatello and the other turtles are great as well. And Splinter was great in this movie. Jackie Chan did a great job as voicing Splinter. Yep. And April was pretty good too. The human characters were okay, I guess. And Superfly was a magnificent villain. I love Superfly in this movie. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And the other mutants were the heart of the movie. They were just so funny. The actors did a great job playing them, especially Ice Cube. He was brilliant as Superfly. Yep. The climax was absolutely awesome. There's great action in it. And I just came out of it with an absolute smile on my face with how good it was. And I'm definitely going to rewatch it because it's needed a rewatch. Yep. And And yeah, I do have to say, I know a lot of people like the 2007 movie, but in my opinion, I think this is way better than the 2007 movie. I know a lot of people are going to hate me saying that, but it's just my opinion. I think this is way better than the 2007 movie. Um, yeah, this movie is really good. Yeah. Um, yeah. And the post credit scene was very interesting indeed. I'm excited for the sequel whenever it comes out. So overall, this is genuinely a really fun movie. I really like this movie. Yep. And I'm happy to call Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem one of the best animated movies of 2023. And the animation is fantastic. It's very like Spider-Verse. So yeah. And coming in at number 8, I have Champions. Now this movie I saw all the way back in March in cinemas with my uncle and and I did give it a rewatch over the summer back in July as I'd only seen it once. Yep. And 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 yeah, when I saw the trailers, they look good, so I decided to see it. And yeah, I gotta say, this movie is very entertaining. Yeah, it has a well told sports story, and it has some absolutely hilarious humor and jokes. I was certainly laughing a lot in this movie. I thought it was so funny, and and yeah, Woody Harrelson did a great job as Marcus in this movie. I thought he's great. Yep. And the kids were absolutely fantastic. They were so funny. Their jokes were hilarious. They made me laugh so much. Yep. I was kind of worried this movie would be a bit of a letdown, but it was actually a really, really good movie. It's actually become one of my all-time new favorite live action movies. I just really like it. It's really good. Yep. Yeah. And it grows on me the more I think about it. It's really good. Yeah. Yeah. Surprisingly, this movie kind of bombed at the box office, I think, but I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. I now give it a 9 out of 10 because I feel there are some pacing issues with the movie, but overall, it is still a very good film. There's a lot of heart in it. Yeah. Yeah. But the humor is the best part of the movie. It's hilarious. And yeah. So yeah, I'm happy to say this is a very good movie. I really like it. Um, and it's definitely one of my all-time new favorite movies. Yep. And I'm happy to call Champions another one of the best live action movies of 2023. It's really good. Yeah, it's way better than Coach Carter. It's kind of similar to Coach Carter with story. But this movie's way better than Coach Carter, in my opinion. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Coming in at number seven, on the best list, I have A Man Called Otto. Now, now I watched this movie over the summer, and it was an absolutely fantastic movie. I loved this movie. I thought the storyline was brilliant. It was so well told. It has a well told story about a man who's grumpy all the time because his wife died, and and yeah, it shows how he helps people around the neighborhood. Yeah, it is overall just a very well told and very interesting story. I really like it. Yeah, it's a really good story. To this movie, I really like it. Yep. Yeah, the story is definitely the strongest aspect of the movie. Yeah, it's just a really good story. Yep. And and yeah, and 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 yeah, this movie, I mean, it is very, very emotional, guys. This movie is very, very emotional. Yeah, it's very emotional. It is very, very sad, especially towards the end of it. Yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what happens in case I spoil it, but just let you know, it's very, very sad towards the end of the movie. Yeah, I was crying in tears with how sad this movie was. Yep. And I also had some very sad moments throughout the movie, which I was crying as well. Yep. And 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 yeah, but the saddest sad parts are definitely the strongest aspect of the movie. Yep. and and yeah, Tom Hanks did an absolutely fantastic job as playing Otto Anderson in this movie. I thought he was absolutely brilliant in this movie. His tone is absolutely brilliant. Yep. In this movie. Yeah, I just thought Tom Hanks did a great job as Otto Anderson. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Yep. His tone was just so good. Yep. Well done, Tom Hanks. You should be proud of yourself for this movie. You did great. And yeah. And yeah, it has funny moments in it as well that made me laugh. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite live action movies. I love it. And it's definitely one of the best live action films of the year I've seen. And I was gonna see this in cinemas, but I didn't. Yeah. So yeah, overall, this is just a really, really good movie, and I'll definitely rewatch it next year when I get a chance. It's just so good. So yeah, I definitely recommend you check this movie out, guys. It's just so good. Yep. So yeah, stop. Okay, coming in at number six on the best list, I have the Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, I adore this movie. I think this is a fantastic adaptation to the Super Mario Brothers games. Yep, it is just a very good film. Yep, the storyline it is very simple, but I think it's a lot of fun. Yep, and 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 yeah, it's good humor. And Jack Black as Bowser is very very good. Um, Um, yeah, especially his song Peaches. That's such a catchy song. I love it. I was listening to it throughout the whole year. And it's definitely one of my favorite movie songs from the whole year. I love it. Yep, it's a great song. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love it. So yeah, Jack Black did an excellent job as Bowser. I thought he was great. Yep, he sure is a good villain. And Mario and Luigi and Peach and the other characters were good too. And it has actually some really good music in it looking back at it. Yep. The music in the movie is actually really catchy. Yep. It uses some random pop songs which I like. And 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 yeah, and I did see this movie in cinemas I saw it over my Easter holidays back in April. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good, but I needed to give it a rewatch before the end of the year. So my mom wanted to see it because she loved Mario, and um yeah, so I gave it a watch before the end of the year. Back in October, just before Halloween, and and yeah, I still think it holds up to this day. It's still a great movie. I love it. Yep, and yeah, it's definitely my best list. Yeah. And it's definitely one of my all-time favorite Illumination movies, along with Despicable Me too. And it is very like the Mario games. It is much better than that crappy old one that they made. Way better than that one. Yep. Because it's more like the games this movie is. And there's cool references to the games in this movie that I like. Yep. With the cat and everything. So yeah, this is one of my favorite animated movies of the year. Yep. And yeah, so this is overall a great movie. I love it. Yeah. Okay, that's that. And okay, coming in at number five, on the best list, I have Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Now, the more I think about this movie, I love this movie. I think it is a absolutely fantastic film. I love it. Yeah, the storyline has a very deep tone to it, which is very engaging and very interesting. Yeah, yeah, the fact that it's about Puss in Boots on the last of his nine lives, and he has to find the wishing star that'll give him one more life. Yep. It is overall just a very interesting story. I love it. Yep. And 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 I saw this movie in cinemas back in February on Valentine's Day with my dad, and I thought it was a fantastic movie. And I did rewatch the movie in the summer back in July when I went on my holiday to my uncle, and me and my uncle thought it was a great movie, and we loved it. And when I rewatch it again next year, it'll still hold up. I know it will, because it is just a very very good film. But I am such a big fan of the characters of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I think those characters are just so funny. Like they are easily the best characters of the whole entire movie. They're just so funny. I love them. Yeah, all of their jokes in the entire movie made me laugh so much. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the characters of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I think they are fantastic characters. They're so well written in this movie. I love them. Yeah, they're just so funny with their comedic tones. Yeah, they're easily the best characters in the movie. Their jokes made me laugh so much. They were so funny. Yep. I've become a bit of a fan of Goldilocks and the Three Bears characters. They're great. I love them. And and yeah, and Puss in Boots and Kitty Softballs and Perito are good too. And Perito's probably my second favorite character. I'm a fan of him as well. He's cute. And Jack Horner is good as well. This movie just has some absolutely creative characters. I love them. Yeah. I think this movie is just as good as the first Puss in Boots, and it isn't quite as good as Shrek 2, but I still love it. And I feel it's just as good as the Shreks are. And and yeah. So yeah, and I gotta say, I love this film. It's definitely one of my all-time favorite DreamWorks movies, and easy the best DreamWorks movie of the year. Yeah, I'm happy to call it. So yeah, it's a really good movie. I love it. So yeah, that's that. Yeah. Okay, coming in at number four, I have Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Now, this movie is brilliant. I love this movie. I adore this movie. It is just a lot of fun. I just love this movie the more I think about it. It is just a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, I love it. The storyline is very, very interesting and a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of the story. It's the strongest aspect of the movie. Yeah, it is very interesting and a lot of fun indeed. Yeah. It's the strongest aspect of the movie. Yeah, yeah, and um, and and I'm a big fan of the crew. I think the crew are the characters are just absolutely fantastic. Um, yeah, Edgin is great. Holga is fantastic. Um, Simon has got to be my favorite of the crew. Simon is just so funny. He's such a funny sorcerer. I really love him. Yep. And yeah, Simon's a great sorcerer. I love him. Yeah, he's a great character. Yeah, he's really good. And 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 Zank Yender is awesome. I do wish he was in the movie more, but I still think he's awesome. And Doric has got to be my second favorite of the crew. Doric's so cool. I love her. The way she shapeshifts into different animals is just absolutely fantastic. The effects are really good on her. Yep. The way she shapeshifts into different animals is just absolutely fantastic. The effects on it are really good. Yep. Doric is my second favorite of the crew. The way she shapeshifts into different animals is so cool. I love it. Yeah. This effects is really good. And I do love the song "The Wings of Time." It's got to be one of my favorite movie, another one of my favorite movie songs of the year, along with Peaches. Yeah, "The Wings of Time" is another one of my favorite movie songs of the year, along with Peaches. I love it. Yep, it's a good song. Do you feel the wings of time? I do listen to it the whole year, and it's a great song. Yeah. And this is a great adaptation to the Dungeons and Dragons games, even though I've never played them, but it still is a great adaptation. It's very like the games. I have seen Stranger Things characters play Dungeons and Dragons, but that's about it. That's all I know about Dungeons and Dragons. And now I've seen the movie; it's very good. I know a lot about it. The acting is great. Chris Pine does a great job. Justice Smith did such a great job as Simon. I thought he was really really good. And but Hugh Grant was easily the best performance. Hugh Grant gave a very funny performance as Forge. I thought he gave a brilliant performance as Forge. I loved him. He was a great villain. Yep. And yeah, Hugh Grant did a great job. He was the best performance. Yeah, show star. And yeah, and I did see this movie in cinemas. It was good. It was needed a rewatch, so I rewatched it before the end of the year, back in October before Halloween, and it still holds up to this day. It's a great movie. So definitely check this movie out, guys. It's really good, and it's definitely And I have to say, this is definitely one of the best live action films of the year. And it's easy one of my all time favorite live action films. I love it. It's so good. I'm a big fan of it. So yeah, this is overall a fantastic movie. I love it. And yeah, that's that. Okay, now we're on to the top three best movies of 2023. So coming in at number three, I have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. OMG, this movie is fantastic. I adore this movie. It is just such a good film. I love it. I do like the first movie, Into the Spider-Verse. That's a great movie. But this movie is even better than the first one. I love it. It's got a very engaging story with a great aspect. It's a really good story. And and it's got some very, very engaging characters that I'm a big fan of. Jessica Drew is great, but the punk Spider Man is just so funny. He's easily my favorite of the characters. The punk Spider Man is just so funny. I love him. Yep. And 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 Gwen was absolutely fantastic in this movie. There's a lot of focus on her, especially at the start of the movie, but she is fantastic in this movie. I love her. Yep. And Miles Morales is even better in this movie than he was in the first one. He was just so good. Miguel O'Hara is Miguel O'Hara is an absolutely fantastic character. He has a very interesting backstory, and and when he's on screen, boy does he kick ass. He is awesome. I love Miguel O'Hara. I'm a fan of him. Yep. And 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 the spots, I do wish there was more focus on him, but he is still a really good villain. I love him. I feel there'll be a lot more focus on the spot in Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is coming out next year, hopefully. And I'm very excited for that movie. I'm looking forward to seeing what they'll do in that movie. Yep, with these characters. So I'm excited for Beyond the Spider Verse next year. It's going to be a great movie, and it'll be the finale of the Spider Verse trilogy, and it's going to be a